What's up, everybody? This is Talk Toomey at Louder Than Life 2022, and these are the interviews.
Bad memories. I think that's also called brainwashing, you know?
Bands going out and actually making their voices heard and telling their stories.
All right, guys, let's welcome Nick from Bayside to the Talk Toomey podcast here at NotFest.com. Nick, how are we doing today?
So good. So happy to be here.
Awesome, man. So the Red EP comes out October 19th,
Yeah.
Hopeless Records. Tell me a little bit about it.
Bayside's been a band for 22 years. We're constantly trying some new things here and there. So we're releasing a couple of EPs over the course of the next year that will accumulate to an album, and we're going to release 2 songs. We're kind of like genre expanding as we've gone in the last 5 years. So the first song we released so far was kind of this like metal-y riff, spooky song. Second song called Good Advice is more of a traditional like Bayside, like pop punk kind of song. And then we have another song coming out in October that sounds completely different from the other 2.
Nice. So in this world of streaming and all that stuff,
Yeah.
are you guys kind of just testing the waters with releasing a few EPs over time rather than full-length albums?
Yeah, it's what I'm about to say comes with no judgment because I'm exactly the same way.
Right.
But it's hard, no one has attention spans anymore,
Right.
and there's no use fighting that,
Yeah.
So we're kind of like. We've been a band, like I said, 22 years, and the record cycle has shrunk from about 2 years to about 2 days at this point. So we're just figuring if we could release a song a month for the course of like the next year or so, that's at least something to talk about, and our fans get to concentrate on one song instead of here's 10, here's 12. So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question. I forgot what the question was.
It doesn't matter at this point. The one thing kind of going down the YouTube rabbit hole with you guys was the comment section. I don't know if you touched the waters of that, but I mean, one thing I've noticed was just everybody always talking about, Bayside got me through high school, Bayside got me through college, Bayside still getting me through my 30s.
Yeah.
It's like, do you ever kind of take that stroll down the comment lane and read those comments?
What's cool is our comment section is generally like 99.9% positive,
right.
Which is a rare thing for the internet and social media. And the cool thing about that is we get to meet a lot of people who listen to our music, and they have the wherewithal to say things like that.
Right.
And really all my responses, besides saying thank you, is that like my favorite bands do that for me.
Right.
And I've been lucky enough to say like Bad Religion's playing tonight. I've been able to say that same thing to my favorite band, so I know what it means.
Yeah.
And basically when a Bayside fan says that sort of thing, I appreciate them being with us for 2 decades and really growing with us. We have fans that are starting to bring their kids to our shows because we're all getting old. But it's a great feeling because I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate all my favorite bands. They still play, and I get to see them and feel something. So I get it, basically.
The one thing you're talking about there with the fans bringing their kids is one thing also I'm seeing too is kind of that era of music is kind of getting that resurgence.
Totally,
yeah. With the When We Were Young Fest.
Yeah.
I mean when that lineup came out, and I'm in the business-ish kind of thing, and I thought that lineup was a joke. I was like, there's no way this is true. This is amazing. So talk about the resurgence of kind of that genre of music.
It's interesting because I feel like yes, that's our genre, but we never, in the 2004 era, we weren't successful yet, Like, our success is not, it's parallel to all that whole scene. Right. It's not part of that scene necessarily. Like, a lot of those bands we played shows with, but we never toured with, and we have a different sound than a lot of them. So, yes, we fit in that genre, but we've always done our own thing. I'm happy to be included in that, and it makes sense as far as, like, the time line goes, but yeah, I mean, I'm so happy we were a part of something that broke the internet for a day.
Right.
and the lineup was shocking because we were asked to do it based off the fact that, hey, there's a festival in Vegas and Mike Chem's headlining, do you want to do it? That was it. We were like, yeah, we love Vegas, we do great in Vegas, and Mike Chem's playing, we're in,
Yeah.
So we really saw the lineup for the first time when everyone else did, and it blew everyone's mind. I loved how that went because it's a bizarre thing to basically have like 90% of the bands from the scene on that tour in order to sell out like a 50, 60,000 ticket festival, and it really takes all of us to do that.
Yeah, and they had to add days, and they kept adding days. Like they might as well just make this a traveling festival.
I wish.
Let's get down to the real stuff, man.
Yeah.
You co-host Thank the Maker. I'm
I
actually
sure
a
do.
Patreon patron of
Oh,
Thank the
that's the
Maker.
best. That's the best. Thank you.
So talk about just kind of the resurgence of Star Wars and just so much Star Wars out there now.
I love it.
Everywhere you turn.
I need more, actually. No, it's cool. It's something I've loved, and I joke whether I loved it before I had memories. I think that's also called brainwashing, Like, I think my mother always says, you were 2, you were 3, standing up in front of the TV watching it, mesmerized. I'm like, that sounds like brainwashing, Mom. But here I am. I'm 42 now. I love it just as much as ever, if not more. And I don't know, the Disney years have been fruitful. I've loved everything that's come out. And, me and Ryan and Adam from the podcast, it's like, we're here because we love the story. We love the community behind Star Wars, and we're able to criticize when we need to criticize. We don't have to be trolls about it or whatever. If some things aren't for us, it's not for us. But what Star Wars is to me at this point in my life is community more than anything. It's brought me so many friends and relationships and a podcast and just something. We're at Louder Than Life, and you're asking me about. It's just one more amazing community to be a part of, whether it's music or I'm a big hockey fan, Star Wars, whatever. It's just I think the older you get, the more important it is to have people to commiserate with, and Star Wars is just a worldwide thing, and the fact that we're really almost starting a new heyday of it, where there's just so much of it now, and I love it, and it's all just so different from each other too. This new Andor series, so cool already, love it.
My favorite part of the Think the Maker show is because I'm not as deep into Star Wars as most.
Yeah.
So I like watching the episodes of Mandalorian, Boba Fett, or whatever, and then listening to you guys talk about watching those episodes, and you guys point out so many little nooks and crannies. Did you notice the thing in the background that was from Return of the Jedi, but it was only in the special feature. I love when people have passion like that, nerd out.
It's cool because because we're all band people, when we started the podcast, we leaned on that a lot more, and then it just kind of morphed into a Star Wars podcast. We do have certain creative references that we'll bring up when it comes to being in a band and touring and all this type of stuff. But I guess it gives us a little bit of a unique perspective. But all in all, it's just a Star Wars podcast, and as much as we want people to learn from us, we're still learning too. We'll watch a YouTube breakdown of something and be like, oh, well, we missed that. Let's make sure we give credit where credit's due. But okay, cool. There's so many levels of Star Wars fans and so many generations of Star Wars fans, and everyone notices different things, and they also interpret things differently, which is that's a whole other story for another time. It's just there's some people who are just loyalists to the first 3 movies and they won't shut up about it, and it's well, I like it all, man. I'm just here for fun, man.
Thoughts on the on James Earl Jones kind of signing over the rights to his voice?
Yeah.
What an insane thing! That is just so totally 2022, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to live forever, obviously, and I mean, I don't know legally if he had to do that or if that was just the right thing to do, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I mean, I'd rather it be authentic than if they hire another actor and then that gives certain people something to complain about, but it's not the same, I hate this. It's there's no winning.
Right. Bayside comment section, good.
Star
Wars comment section, very bad. Stay away.
Very, very bad.
All right, talk a little bit about the radio show before we get out of here.
Yeah, that's just, that's me being passionate about music. I do it on my own. It plays off more 45 minutes of college radio than it does a podcast. It's just me. I've continued to be passionate about finding new music in my life, well into my 40s now, and I feel like that keeps me young, and I realize that life gets in the way of finding new bands and growing with them. You can't listen to music the same way you did when you were 12, 13, 14, 15. It doesn't mean people aren't making good music now. It's just harder for you to kind of vibe with it. So I'm just trying to make it easier. For instance, The Joy Formidable is playing there right now. They're not a new band, but I felt like Bayside fans should like them, and they're not necessarily a part of our scene. I'm stoked that they're playing. Let me play a couple songs from The Joy Formidable, and Bayside fans might be able to vibe with them, and then maybe their streams go up, maybe they sell some tickets, and I'm just trying to give back, and make it easier for people to find new music and not necessarily just be like, I'm hopping in the car, what should I listen to? I don't know, Rancid and Out Come the Wolves, because that's what I liked 20 years ago. It's well, there's new bands that sound like Rancid too, let's support them. They need help.
I don't know, man. You can't go back with some rancid bass playing.
Absolutely not.
Matt from Rancid,
That's the best.
incredible. Once again, guys, Nick from Bayside here, the Ready P out October 19th, Hopeless Records, and thanks for taking some time here. Talk to
Of
me
course.
podcast.
Thank you.
Notfest.com.